Hi, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I want to do a video on knitting, how to knit, the basics of knitting, because all I know is the basics of knitting. I mean, I experiment a lot, so I can make pretty cool things with just me experimenting on how things work. But what you're gonna need is, there are several types of knitting needles. My other knitting needles are being used right now. These ones have both ends that are the same, they're small. But this is to teach you how to do it. So this, I don't know what these size are. I'm not professional. These are lilac purple, I think. And then my yarn I have for this project is black and white. I used to teach these classes when I was in the group home. Very, very fun. A lot of people, there's a stereotype with knitting that a lot of people think that knitting is for people who are old, or knitting is for the elderly, stuff like that. So that's just not true. I've been knitting since I was 9. It's something to pass time. I know that when I was little, I had a lady come to see me to teach me how to knit because I had a very hard time being on my own and figuring out things that I can do on my own by myself. So knitting is a perfect thing that you can do. Knitting can be spiritual. You can think positive things into your work of what you're knitting. I'm thinking for a second. So you can make intention projects where you make an intention of why you're making it, and it can hold as a symbol for you. So if you're trying to manifest something, you can use this knitting technique to set an intention and make something really cool. So what I'm going to teach you how to make, which is what I teach everyone in the beginning because it's super easy, at least that's what other people I've taught has said, and I also think it's really easy because it's the easiest thing I've ever made. It's literally one of the top first things I've ever finished. So you always want to have extra slack, so you don't have to keep going for more slack when you need extra yarn. So you're going to take the end of the yarn, and you're going to want to have at least this much to work with so you know where the other end of the yarn is. And you're going to take these 2 fingers and you're going to wrap this part over. See, you got it like this, and then you grab the one that's still attached, the longer piece, and you pull it up like this. There you go. I think it's called a slip knot. And then you just place it onto one of your needles. It does not matter. At least I've never seen, or I've never known it to matter which needle you use. But I will tell you that you do need another tool. At least it makes things 10 times easier when you are casting off and finishing your project to get it off the needle. It's easier to finish your piece when you have a crochet hook. So, and I will talk to you a little later in the video to show you why you need a crochet hook. But let's get started. So you have this one, and because we're gonna make a headband, it can be a baby headband, it can be a headband for you, and this is just a basic. You can undo it after you're done, or you can throw away your piece or give it to someone you want to give it to. It's fine. But to do the other loops, you can wrap it around your finger like this. And you see the opening right there in between my fingers? You put it through there. Or there is an easier way to do it, like this. And you put it in between, sorry, I'm trying to find the, go like this. Or you can move your fingers in any way that makes you comfortable. So when you're making a headband, it depends on how wide you want it to be. Sorry, something popped up on my computer. It depends on how wide you want it to be. So when you separate these pieces, normally, I'm going to put more here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You count how many loops are on your thing, and there's 5 right here. It is best to have a set amount of hoops that you want to put on, and you keep that in mind throughout your whole project. So let's see, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can even put loops on to kind of like set an intention on like magical numbers. Like say 7 means something to you, you can put 7. If 3 means something to you, put 3. You know, it's all about setting your intention. If you want it to be spiritual, if you don't want it to be spiritual, then it doesn't matter. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loops. And you're going to want to keep that in mind, because sometimes one might disappear because you missed a loop or lost a loop or whatever the case is, or you notice that you accidentally added extra. And so the loops matter because it will depend on how your project will look at the end. So there is 8 loops, and what you want to do is get your second loop, and the short one you keep underneath your fingers so you don't catch it into your space. I am filming on my laptop, so this is very, very weird. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that that string right there is under your fingers, and you're going to put the pointy side, even though both of these have points, you're going to put the pointy side up, and you're going to put it in, let's see if I can get it, you're going to put it in here like this. And you're going to take this one and you're going to put it around there like that. And then you're going to put it out the other end like this. I know you probably didn't see that, but it's going to be easier. The more you do it, the easier it's going to be. So you're going to, see, I'm going to put that down a little further so I don't have to have my hands up in the air. So you're going to put that around like this, and then you're going to put it through here like this. It's going to look like that towards your face. Then you're going to cast off like that. Then you're going to push this up a little, and then you're going to push up like this, and then cast off. See, look at that. Then you're going to do it again. Boop. You're going to do it again. You're going to do this until, sorry, it's slipping off. You're going to do this until it's on all of the loops and up on the other side of the knitting needles, on the other needle, I'm sorry. So see, I will cut forward later on the video because who knows how long this is going to take me to full on do. And I don't want this video to be 3 hours long. Okay, I'm going to be back in a jiff. So I did it one more time. So this is it being done. That loop is a little loose, but that's okay. This is it being done twice. So I will go and do the third. So this is it being, this is after me doing it 3 times, back and forth. That's what it's supposed to look like, or it's supposed to look better than that. This is like a good start. Okay, so I'm on my 4th. I'll be on my 4th row. This is the next row, the 4th row. So this is the 4th row. And after we're done, this isn't going to be here. And obviously, I wouldn't normally use 7 or 8 loops, but I just wanted to show you how it could possibly look, but I wanted it to be bigger because this is on video and I just want to make sure that you see the full piece. Normally it wouldn't be that long for a headband, unless you want it that long. All right, this is going to be my 5th row. So this is, sorry, that's why you want extra slack, because it fights. It fights. Let me get extra slack for you. Okay. So this is, like I said earlier, this and this isn't going to be here when we do this. So this is the 5th row. I know it looks a little funky, but that's okay. All right, this is going to be the 6th row. So this is the 6th row. I know it looks a little jaggy, but that's okay. I do better when it's smaller. But yes, this is the 6th row. Now during the 7th row, I'm going to stop in the middle and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're in the middle of a row. Okay, sorry, I lied. I finished. I got a little too excited. So this is going to be the 8th row and I will show you in the middle. All right. Okay, so we're in the middle of the 8th row, and it can look something like this. Try to forget about that little string because after that it will be off. So this is normally what you would see when you see someone knitting. This is the 8th row. When you put it together, it's supposed to look like that. All right, so the reason why I'm not so detailed in the beginning is, I know this doesn't make sense, but the more you go, the more you knit, the easier it gets. So when you first start out, you might feel a little floppy, you might get a little nervous that you may not be doing it right because things are just a little floppy and you don't know if you're doing it correctly. That's me. Even though I know how to do this, I still get that way sometimes, and I get super floppy and like I get frustrated in the beginning. I'm just like, why isn't this cooperating? It's like when you have hair that doesn't cooperate properly. When you know how to do your hair just isn't cooperating. That's kind of how knitting is in the beginning, especially if you are a beginner. So this is what it's supposed to look halfway through. You grab, and I hope this makes it look a little easier. You just do the same thing in the beginning that you do at the middle or the end. So you got this. You put it through the loop. You grab the longer, let's see, get more slack. You get the longer string, you wrap it like this around that. Then you So it looks like that on the other side. Then you stick your needle out towards that end, right here, and then you cast off. So I hope that's a little easier to see than it was in the beginning. Sorry if I go too fast. I'm just so used to this. I'm used to teaching in person, so everyone can see every angle. So that's 9 rows. So keep in mind, this will just keep getting longer and longer and longer. No, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about these. So these rows will get longer and longer as you go. So we're definitely on the 9th row. Don't worry if you have to take your time. It is okay to take your time, pause the video, and go slow. If you feel like you want me to do a little bit more detailed of this, just let me know and I can help you out. Okay, I will go a little bit farther and we will come back. So this is 11 rows. So I basically did 3 rows of that. So now we're going to count to see how many loops we have, to see if we lost a loop or gained a loop, because we want to stay at the same loops from when we first started. So if you lost a loop or a loop was added on, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It just might affect a little bit of how it might look. It shouldn't look perfect your first time. If it does look perfect, good job. So let's count how many I still have. So I think originally I had 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I still have 8. So every once in a while, you're going to want to stop what you're doing and you're going to want to count how many you still have on there. So you can make sure that all your stitches, all your rows are going to be nice and centered. Okay, so we're at row 11. And so we're going to go in. I'm going to show you again. We're going to, sorry, I have to put this down so you can see. You're going to go into the loop like this. Like that. See, this is the front. It's not the ones that is turned towards you. And then you spin it around like this. And then you put it through the loop and you pull that loop out. I know that I didn't notice that my arm was down like this through the loop. Cross, lift, and pull out. I think it needs to be down lower. So like this, like this. Why am I having so much issues? Okay, let me start over. Like this. Boop. 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 So as the better you get at this, okay, the faster you'll be able to go. Look at that. The faster you'll be able to go, the more you do this, okay? So we're gonna stop. I'm gonna pause the video I'm going to go down a little bit farther, do the same thing I've been doing this whole time, and I am going to come back. So this is it after 14 rows. 14. So you find, where did it go? Oh, there I put it. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing this whole time, even the thing that I have been doing hasn't changed. Okay, this whole time. Do it like that, put it through, wrap, pull, boop, and do it again, wrap, pull, wrap, pull, wrap, pull, wrap, pull, wrap, pull, wrap, pull. So that's 15. So let's count how many hoops we have now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we still have our 8 loops. That is great. Okay, I will do a little bit more rows and I will be back. So this is what it looks like when we have done 20 rows. And keep in mind, this will go quicker and quicker the more you get used to it and you get the hang of it. So let's count how many loops we have now after having 20 loops onto our projects. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We still have 8. And if you were a little less or an extra more, it would look more whack than this. And that is okay because you're a beginner, you're just starting. Mine looks whack, but that's okay too. So you can get it out of your way by putting the top on your hand. And then putting this, loop it, pull. Or just putting it down like this. I hope you're able to see this properly. I apologize if you're not. I'm so used to teaching in person. Boop. 21 loops. Woohoo! Okay, I will do more loops and be right back. Okay, so we are on row 25. Look how much work I did. So knitting is very time consuming. If you don't have much time or whatever, knitting may not be your thing. But if you are able to handle sitting in one spot for a long period of time, this is probably perfect for you. So we're at row 25. Let me get more slack of yarn. Hold on a second. So now that we got that, okay, so we're going to put it through the hoop. Remember, you're seeing what's in front. I'm seeing what's in my view, which is basically this. Then you're going to wrap it right here and then pull. This would be row 26. I can go pretty fast though, but I'm just trying to go slow. Row 26, you guys. Okay, let's count how many loops we have. So we can pay, just ignore that, that'll go away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we still have 8 loops. I will be doing a little bit more rows and I'll be right back. Remember, we're on our 26th row. So this is 30 rows. 30 rows. Yes, that was very time consuming. Especially because I'm not sitting somewhere comfortable. I'm sitting more in a chair. That's really uncomfortable at the table. So, yes. But I will keep going and show you. Okay, let's count how many loops we have. 1. Hold on, you can't see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still have 8. I'm actually surprised that I haven't missed anything. Normally I do. Sorry, I'm getting more slack with my yarn, so I'm not fighting with it. All right. So, got this piece. Whoa. I just actually made 2 loops. That's okay. I think that's called a purl stitch. I think. Okay, that's the 31 stitch, or 31 rows. 31 rows with 8 loops. All right, well, I'm gonna go do a little more and I will come back. Hello. Hey, so I am back. I've done 35. Okay, all of this together is 35 rows. 35. And I haven't changed anything throughout this whole process. I've done the same thing as I have done since the very beginning. The same process, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. Even though it says that it's been 29 and 38 minutes with this video, I've actually been filming this a lot longer. Alright, so we're at 35. Now this is 30. This is 36. stick it. Oop. Okay, let's count to see how many hoops we have. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still 8 loops. Okay, so I'm going to go a lot farther than I did last time so you can see how much progress that there is going to be from this and longer. And I will not change the technique. It will be exactly the same. Right, see you. So I have done 55 rows. It's a little longer. Probably about this much longer than the screen. So 55 rows. Get you this. And when you get to a certain point, which we'll get there soon, you will need to start measuring it. And you can use your head, you can use your friend's head. It's a-okay. So now you got, let me get some slack here. Let me put that in between my legs. Let me go to, okay, ready? Twirl and through the hole, pull off. Now we continue to do that all the way down. I haven't changed a single thing. This is what I've been doing this whole time to get down to the 55 rows. This is the 56th row. And if you can't really keep track in your head like I'm doing, just write it down. It's okay. So this is the 56th row. 56. So now let's count this to make sure that I still have all my hoops. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still have my 8 hoops. All right, I will go in and do more, and I will be back with more done. Bye. So this is 70 rows. 70 rows. Yes, this is 70 rows. So it's not yet where we need to go and measure the head yet for it to go around our head. Let's see here. Put it through the loop. Wrap it. And put it through the bottom loop like this. And then pull that one off. Then you continue to do that all the way down. So this would be 71, the 71 row. Okay, this is 71 rows. All right, I will be back for the next clip. All right, guys, so I am at 100 rows. So 100 rows. See, that's the top, goes all the way down here. It like goes across the screen. So that is 100 rows. Okay, let's check to see if I still have my 8 loops going on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I do. So that means I'm doing great. Let's see, I'll do it on camera again. Let's see. Ready? In through the loop, do another loop, in through that loop, and pull. This is the 100, it's 101. 101. 101. All right. So again, this is 101. And I think we'll have to do a couple more, or not a couple more, but a certain amount of more until we can measure at least my head. We're almost there, see? Almost there to fit my head. Every person's different. Every person has a different size head, and that is definitely okay, but you're gonna have to size it differently, or size. I have to wait a little bit longer until my head is able to fit through this, because my head's bigger. So if someone has a small head, they could have done it a lot earlier than me. I should have stated that a little earlier, but yes. I'm going to go back, do my thing, and then when it gets close to me needing to size it for my head, I will be right back. Okay, I got to 105 rows. That is the size of my head. If I make it any bigger, it's not gonna fit me. So, 8. So we did, or at least I did, 8 loops and 105 rows. And this is what you'll get at 105. 105 rows. Okay, so what you do, I can't find my crochet hook. I literally don't even know where they went. I have 100 different of them and I don't even know where they are. So I'm gonna have to do this without it. It's a little bit harder, so that's why I recommend that when you are a beginner, you should use a crochet hook, but I don't have one, so this is how it's gonna be. So you start off like this. You don't need your other hook. You just put it to the side. You take, let's make a little bit of slack there. Okay, so let's see. You move my cut. So you got this, right? You're gonna want to wrap it around the same hook. Then you're gonna take the hoop that's below hand, and you're gonna want to pull it over that new self-made hook that you just made. See, like that. And this is what it looks like from the front. So do that twice. There's going to be a pattern. Okay, I just did it a second time. Then after that second time, you're not going to make another hoop. You're going to take the second loop below the first, and you're going to loop that over. Make sure you don't lose any of the loops, okay? And then after that, so when you first start, you make 2 hoops, if that makes sense. And then after that, you take the second loop of the first hoop that you have and you pull it over. And then after you do that, and that's only once, you make your own hoop again, and then you pull it over the hoop that you just made. And then you do it again. Just make sure that hoop that you just made does not fall apart. And then since you did that, then you don't make another hoop. You take the second hoop and you pull it over the top hoop. And then you're going to do it again. Take the second hoop and pull it over the top hoop. And then tighten it if you have to. Then you're going to make another hoop like this, like I just did. I don't know if you can. And then make sure that the other one doesn't fall off, but pull off the second one. And then you don't make the hoop again, and then you just pull it over the first. And then you make a hoop, pull it over, make a hoop, pull it over. And then you take the second hoop, don't make another hoop, just pull the second hoop over the first hoop, and then you make another hoop. That is literally, I did not show at least half of that. I am really sorry. So then after that pattern, you take the second hoop over the first hoop, and then you make a hoop yourself. Then you pull over the second hoop over the first hoop you just made. And then you take the second hoop over the first hoop. Make sure that none of the hoops that you don't want to fall off doesn't fall off. Okay. So let's see if I can find the scissors here. So you're going to cut off at least this much until you get it where you want it. Okay, you're going to pull this off. Make sure you don't undo all the stuff that you just did. Let me put this down. So I'm going to pull this through the hoop, and then you're going to tighten it. And then you're going to want to remake a knot right on top. Okay. And then you're going to want to cut the excess off. Boop. I almost stabbed myself in the face. Okay, and then you see that there's an extra right here, right? You cut that off too. Make sure you're careful about how you cut it, or how far or how close you cut it to your stitches, because you're not going to want to undo that, okay? And then you're gonna want to knit this together, okay? And the way you want to do that is take the two outer pieces like that, and then you're gonna want to put the lower hoop over the top hoop, and then you're going to want to get another hoop from the other area, the other side, and then you're going to take the 2 hoops on the bottom and you're going to bring them over the top. Then you're going to go to the other side like that, and then you're going to take the hoop, the bottom hoop, and put it over the top hoop. And then you're going to take another hoop from the other side, and then you're going to take the bottom hoop and put it over the top hoop. You just basically go back and forth on each side, And you always want to do the bottom hoop over the top hoop. And I'll show you exactly what I did after I get more across. Then after you go all the way across and you still have this part, the one hoop left, you're going to want to get a string about this big, and you're going to want to stick it through the hole. Like so. And then you're going to want to knot it. And then knot it again. And then you're going to trim it. Sorry, I just cut what I just did. So I have to redo it. I'm going to pause it so it's not. Okay, so this is what I did, and here's the other side that was knitted together. And then I just took a piece of yarn and I put it through the last hoop, and then I tied it around the other edge. Now, that kind of looks like one of those fancy headbands with the bow or whatever. But normally what I have taught the people that in the past I've taught knitting before. If you want to add something fancy to it, you can. You can make a bow out of yarn. It's super easy. Or you can hot glue or fabric glue some buttons or rhinestones all over your headband, and it will look super, super cute. I am notorious for putting bows on my headband, and this would be a perfect headband to do it. This was actually something that I taught at the group home that I was living at, and the girls there, they used to make fun of me hardcore for it, and then when they started seeing me doing it and seeing some of the cute stuff I was making, they started asking me questions and wanting to learn how to make it too. And the funny thing is that so many people wanted to learn how I was doing things that we didn't have enough knitting needles. So some of the girls I was teaching were learning how to knit with pencils. So like we would knit with pencils, and like it wasn't ideal, but it was the only thing we really had because we didn't have extra knitting needles. And so there was this one girl, sweet girl. She had some depression and she self-harmed, and she I am not going to say names or anything because that's her business. But the thing that helped her with her self-harm was knitting after I taught her. And she would have these huge boxes of headbands that she had made during the times that she was trying to use it as a coping skill. And that made me feel really good because I made sure that someone wasn't hurting themselves and they were able to find something that helped them. So instead of hurting themselves, they kind of poked and prodded at yarn. And I know that sounds really morbid, but it's the truth. So if any of you guys are really struggling with like self-harm, or you need something to distract yourself, please pick up knitting. It will consume your brain and your time, and it might help. So thank you for watching, and if you want me to teach you how to make a bow for your headbands, just let me know. If you're unable to do that because my YouTube's kind of weird, I'll just make the video anyways. I hope you had a safe quarantine or COVID, whatever. And spreading love and light. I will see you in the next video. Bye.